Good morning and welcome back to Compartments School. Today I will be discussing with you body fluid compartments, part of cell physiology. We know that any organism has got a fluid compartment and a solid compartment. 60% of the human body is made up of water and 40% is constituted by solids. So today we'll be discussing about how this fluid is distributed in various parts of the body. That is today's agenda. So if we take the cells, any tissue is made up of cells, and cells are the building blocks. The inside the cell there is fluid, and that fluid is called intracellular fluid. That is inside the cell, that is why it is called intracellular fluid. This is the major content of the body, and this constitutes 2/3 of the body water. So total body water is 60% of the body weight. So of the body weight, 2/3 is inside the cell. Outside the cell there is fluid that is called extracellular. That is outside the cell, that is why it is called extracellular fluid. So in between the cells there is fluid. So the body fluid compartments can be divided and the blood vessels are there, an intracellular component and an extracellular component. Extracellular is again divided into intravascular and interstitial. Hope this point is clear to you. So we have already mentioned that the body fluid, 60% of the body weight is body water. So in a 70 kilogram person, this will come into 70 into 60%, that is 0.6 is equal to 42 liters. So an average person of 70 kilogram, the body fluid is 42 liters. There is a mild difference between males and females. Because of the increased adipose tissue, in females the body fluid is less. It will be 50 to 55%. So in females it is 50 to 55%, males it is 60%. Hope this point is clear to you. So we said that the fluids are mainly in the cell. Intracellular component constitutes around 40% of the body weight. So in a 70 kilogram person, it will be 28 liters of fluid. So inside the cell it is 28 liter. The remaining 20%, that is in the extracellular space. So that will be around 14 liters. 14 liters in the extracellular. That is 20% of the body weight. Then the extracellular is divided into interstitial and intravascular. 5% of the body weight is intravascular. So this will come around, for a 70 kilogram person, it will be 3.5 liters. And the interstitial fluid will be, so this will be 3.5 liters. And the remaining is in the interstitium, that is around 15% of the body weight, that will come around 10.5 to 11, or you can take it as 11 liters or 10.5 liters. So this is 10.5 liter. So this is how the body fluid is distributed among various compartments. So we have discussed about the body fluid compartments, total body weight 60% is water, 2/3 of that is in the intracellular. So that will come around 40% of the body weight. 1/3 is in the extracellular. Hope that point is clear. So total body water is 60%. Of the 60%, majority is intracellular, that will come around for the 2/3 of the body water. 1/3 is in the extracellular space. Extracellular fluid is divided into intravascular and interstitial. So the interstitial fluid will be coming around 15% of the body weight, and the intravascular is 5% of the body weight. So if you look in the picture, so total body water 60% of the body weight, 2/3 is intracellular, that will come around 40% of the body weight. 1/3 is extracellular, that will be 20%. So 40 plus 20, that is 60%. The extracellular fluid is in two compartments. One is the intravascular, other is the interstitial. So 15% of the body weight is interstitial and 5% is intravascular. Or you can say that 3/4 of the extracellular fluid, that is 75% of the extracellular fluid is in the interstitial space, and 25% or 1/4 of the extracellular fluid is in the intravascular compartment. This is a very important point to be remembered. So this is a simplified diagram. So here you can see that the total body water 60%, 2/3 is intracellular. So 2/3 are intracellular. So this is the intracellular compartment. It comes the 2/3. If you go by the body weight, it is 40% the total body weight. The interstitial fluid is of the total extracellular fluid 3/4 or 15% of the body weight is interstitial, 5% of the body weight is intravascular. Or in other words, 3/4 of the extracellular fluid is interstitial and 1/4 is intravascular. So extracellular fluid includes the interstitial fluid and the intravascular fluid. Hope this is clear to you. Even though we have divided the fluid into intracellular, interstitial and intravascular. Intravascular is the plasma. Plasma is the blood devoid of the cells. There is a small other contribution called other fluids. So what are the other fluids? This includes the CSF, fluid in the synovial cavity, in the pleural space, the pericardium, and the peritoneal cavity. They all contain small quantities of fluid. They don't change significantly, and that is why usually they are not discussed along with the body fluid compartments. They are called the transcellular. So there is a total body water, there is intracellular fluid, interstitial fluid, intravascular fluid, and the other fluids. The majority of the fluid is in the intracellular compartment, and only 5% of the body weight is the intravascular. So again explaining, this is the intracellular, intracellular component. Here is a intravascular, and in between the cells it is the interstitial fluid. This concept should be clear to you. So we have discussed about the various fluid compartments, that is intracellular, extracellular. Extracellular again divided into intravascular and interstitial. The fluid will move between these spaces. So now we will be going and how this fluid exchange is going on. The way in which the fluid can reach the body is either through the gastrointestinal system, that is when you drink water, it reaches the stomach and intestine, and from the intestine it gets absorbed and it is going into the extracellular space, that is reaches the blood. So fluid can reach only through the extracellular space and is predominantly through the plasma or blood. So once it is in the blood, from the blood vessel this can reach into the interstitium. So from the blood it reaches the interstitium. From the interstitium it can go into the cells. If you imagine, this is the cell and here is the blood vessel, and in between is the interstitial fluid. So the fluid will transfer from the gastrointestinal system, it reaches the plasma, then it goes to the interstitial space. From the interstitial space it reaches the intracellular space. So nutrients, electrolytes and other materials are reaching the cells for the metabolism, and during the metabolism toxic products are produced, it has to be exchanged. So what happens from the interstitium, in the intracellular it reaches the interstitial fluid. From the interstitium it goes to the intravascular. Once in the intravascular comes the role of the kidneys. The kidney will excrete. So the entry and exit of fluid occurs through the extracellular space, that is through the plasma. So gastrointestinal system, it reaches the plasma or blood, and from the blood again it is excreted. Approximately 2.5 liters of water every day we are taking, and 2.5 liters of fluid is excreted. Excretion is predominantly by kidneys, small quantity through the skin, through the sweat, through the lungs. So the fluid balance is maintained by intake and output. Intake and output should get equalized. So that is how the balance is maintained. So we have explained the distribution of fluid in various compartments and how the fluid is moving. Now we are going to what are the contents of the fluid. Is there a difference between the intracellular, interstitial and intravascular fluid? The next session we will be discussing about the concentration of various materials in the fluid compartments. Hope it was useful to you. Thank you.